Disturbing horrors behind Shirley Temple that'll ruin your childhood. With her bright smile, mop of blonde curls, and unwavering exuberance, Shirley Temple sang, danced, and acted her way into the hearts of the movie-going public during the Great Depression and beyond. Temple appeared in more than 40 feature films, a dozen in 1934 alone. Her iconic turns in The Little Colonel, which paired her with Bill Bojangles Robinson for a delightfully entertaining tap dance number, and Bright Eyes, in which she sang her signature song on the Good Ship Lollipop, along with many other memorable roles, paved her way for a fulfilling and productive life. When her rendition of the song on A Good Ship Lollipop became famous in the 1930s, she earned a special Academy Award. Shirley Temple was the leading child actor of her time, receiving a special Oscar and starring in films like Bright Eyes and Heidi. Temple took on some acting roles as an adult before entering politics, becoming a U.S. diplomat for the United Nations. She died on February 10, 2014 at the age of 85 in California. Today in this video, we're revealing all the dark secrets behind the making of Shirley Temple's career. Join us for a story time covering the disturbing true life story of Shirley Temple. But before we start, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel to get some interesting stuff. Temple was born to a banker and a housewife with 2 older children on April 23, 1928 in Santa Monica, California. When Temple was just 3 years old, she landed her first contract with Educational Pictures Incorporated, for whom she worked in 1932 and 1933. Her father was a bank teller who later worked as his daughter's manager and financial advisor when she became famous. She appeared in a short movie entitled Baby Burlesques, followed by a 2-reeler, Frolics of Youth, that would lead to her being contacted by Fox Film Corporation at a salary of $150 per week. When the budding actress was 6 years old, she appeared in her first Hollywood feature film, Carolina. Then another Fox release of that year that made her a star, Stand Up and Cheer. She appeared in 8 other full-length films that year, including Little Miss Marker and Bright Eyes. The first of these is especially notable because it was her first starring role. The young actress, singer, and dancer with the bouncing golden corkscrew curls and infectious optimism proved to be an overnight sensation and a top earner for the studio. In 1934, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences awarded her with a special miniature Oscar in grateful recognition of her outstanding contribution to screen entertainment during the year 1934. Unfortunately, little of the built-up popularity would be Temple's to claim by the time she was an adult. As she reports in her autobiography, A Person's Own Life Story, her father's questionable management of her funds, coupled with both of her parents' spending, enabled her to enjoy only a fraction of the immense fortune she'd earned. By 1940, she had appeared in 43 feature films and shorts, and an entire industry had sprung up with products celebrating the glories of Shirley Temple: dolls, dresses, coloring books, and other merchandise. President Franklin D. Roosevelt called Temple Little Miss Miracle for raising the public's morale during times of economic hardship, even going as far as to say, "As long as our country has Shirley Temple, we'll be all right." Temple's song and dance routine to the tune On the Good Ship Lollipop in 1934's Bright Eyes earned her a special Academy Award for Outstanding Personality of 1934. By 1940, Temple had 43 films under her belt. By the decade's end, Temple was no longer quite a child. When The Bluebird of 1940 proved unpopular at the box office and the next film she starred in fared poorly as well, 20th Century Fox devised a means of getting rid of the property that had saved the fledgling studio from bankruptcy. She tried to maintain her acting career through the 40s, but never again did she even come close to the stardom of her childhood. Film audiences would simply not allow the adorable girl who had sung On the Good Ship Lollipop and Animals Crackers in My Soup to grow up. It's arguable that nothing could have been done to preserve Temple's youthful magic. Yet her ongoing struggles as an adult would prove to be as heroic in her life as she had ever been on the screen. A difficult first marriage to actor John Agar caused her to mature quickly. Almost immediately thereafter came the realization that her parents had been looking out for their own best interests rather than hers. As Temple's entertainment work petered out, she refocused her efforts on a career in public service. In 1967, she ran unsuccessfully for a U.S. congressional seat. From 1969 to 1970, she served as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. Temple was appointed ambassador to Ghana in 1974. 2 years later, she became Chief of Protocol of the United States, a position she would hold until 1977. In 1988, Temple became the only person to date to achieve the rank of honorary U.S. Foreign Service Officer. From 1989 to 92, she entered into yet another public service role, this time as ambassador to Czechoslovakia. In December 1998, Temple's lifetime accomplishments were celebrated at the Kennedy Center Honors, held at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. In 2005, she received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Screen Actors Guild. In 1945, Temple married actor John Agar Jr. when she was only 17 years old. The marriage yielded one child, a daughter named Linda Susan, before ending in divorce in 1949. Temple remarried the following year to California businessman Charles Alden Black. She added her husband's last name to hers, becoming Shirley Temple Black. The couple had two children, a son, Charles, and a daughter, Lori. Shirley and the elder Charles would remain married until his death from complications of a bone marrow disease in 2005. Her concern over domestic social problems caused her to realize that life as a private citizen could not satisfy her desire to make the world a better place. She ran for Congress in 1967 and was defeated. This was only the beginning of her involvement in public service, however. In 1969, she was appointed to serve as a representative to the United Nations, a multinational organization aimed at world peace. Her work at the UN led to a second career for Shirley Temple Black. In 1972, she was appointed representative to the UN Conference on the Human Environment and also served as a representative on the Joint Committee for the USSR-USA Environmental Treaty. The next year, she served as a U.S. Commissioner for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, also known as UNESCO. Black overcame a great challenge in 1972 when she successfully battled breast cancer. When she publicly disclosed that she had had a mastectomy, she gave courage to millions of women. 2 years later, she was appointed ambassador to Ghana, where the people of that nation warmly received her. In all of her various diplomatic functions, Black's intelligence and spirit contributed greatly to her country's reputation and furthered its world position. Democratic President Jimmy Carter paid tribute to her tact and flawless state when he chose her, Black had been a lifelong Republican, to make the arrangements for his inauguration, an inaugural ball in 1977. By 1981, Black was such an established pillar of the public service community that she became one of the founding members of the American Academy of Diplomacy. In 1988, she was appointed Honorary Foreign Service Officer of the United States, the only person with that rank. She went on to serve as the U.S. Ambassador to Czechoslovakia, today known as the Czech Republic and Slovakia, from 1989 to 1992. Such honors are ultimately the true measure of her career's meaning. Black, through her lifetime of service in the arts and public life, has demonstrated the spirit of self-service and hard work that Americans have aspired to for generations. She is regarded as a true American heroine. Her lifetime achievements were duly honored on December 6, 2001, when she was honored in a ceremony at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. Temple died in February 10, 2014, at her home near San Francisco, California. She was 85 years old. In March 2014, her death certificate cited the cause of her death as pneumonia and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Following her death, Temple's family and caregivers issued a statement that read, "We salute her for a life of remarkable achievements as an actor, as a diplomat, and most importantly, as our beloved mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and adored wife of 55 years." That's about all for today's story. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share the video with your friends.